How to add ideas in meetings. 10 essential English phrases. In this video, you will 1. Learn 10 professional phrases to add ideas in a meeting. 2. See examples of each phrase. 3. Listen to real example dialogues with these phrases. And 4. Complete a quiz. So let's begin with phrase number 1. Phrase number 1 is, I'd like to add something here. I'd like to add something here is used to introduce an extra idea or a comment. An example sentence is, I'd like to add something here. We should also think about the budget. You will now hear a conversation between Nina and Leo. They're talking about project planning and timelines, and Leo uses this phrase in the conversation.
We've agreed on the main project timeline. Are there any final comments?
The plan looks good overall, especially the first phase.
Great. If there's nothing else, we can move on.
I'd like to add something here. We may need extra support during the testing stage to avoid delays.
That's a good point. Let's include that in the plan.
Perfect. I'll make a note and follow up with the team.
Phrase number 2. Another point to consider is used to introduce a new idea that hasn't been mentioned yet. For example, another point to consider is how this change will affect our customers. Next, Nina and Leo are going to discuss how to improve team communication, and Leo uses this phrase.
We've talked about reducing emails and keeping messages clearer. Do you think this plan will work?
It's a good start, but we may still miss some important updates.
That's true. We want everyone to stay informed.
Another point to consider is using a shared chat channel for urgent messages only.
I like that idea. It would make important updates easier to see.
Exactly. We can set some simple rules so it doesn't get too busy.
Phrase number 3 is building on that idea. Building on that idea is used to develop or expand on someone else's idea. For example, building on that idea, we could offer the service in more locations. Nina and Leo are now going to have a discussion about investing in new software this quarter. Leo uses this phrase during the discussion.
Creating a shared document for updates could really help everyone stay informed.
Yes, it would reduce confusion and save time.
Exactly. It also makes it easier to track changes.
Building on that idea, we could add short weekly summaries so no one misses the key points.
I like that. It keeps things clear without adding extra meetings.
Great, I'll suggest this to the team and set it up.
Phrase number 4. I'd also like to mention is used to add extra information or a related idea. For example, I'd also like to mention that the team will need some training. Next, you will hear Nina and Leo discussing team workload and priorities, and this phrase is used during the conversation.
We've talked about the main goals for this month. Do you think the timeline is realistic?
Yes, overall it looks manageable, especially for the first 2 weeks.
Good. I'm glad we're aligned on that.
I'd also like to mention that the team may need clearer priorities, especially if urgent tasks come in.
That's a good point. Clear priorities will help avoid confusion.
Exactly. We can review them at the start of each week.
Phrase number 5. One more thing we could think about. This phrase is used to introduce an additional suggestion near the end of a discussion. An example sentence is, one more thing we could think about is setting clearer goals. The following conversation is about improving team communication, and Leo uses this phrase in the conversation.
I think the new reporting process will save us time each week.
Yes, it's much clearer than the old system.
Great, so we'll start using it from next Monday.
One more thing we could think about is giving the team a short training session, just to make sure everyone understands the changes.
That makes sense. It would help avoid mistakes at the beginning.
I can organize a short session later this week.
Phrase number 6. In addition to that. In addition to that is used to add another idea that supports what was just said. An example sentence with this phrase is, in addition to that, we should update the website. The topic of the next conversation is improving team communication, and Leo mentions this phrase in the conversation.
The weekly report format looks much clearer now. It should save everyone time.
I agree. The summaries are easier to read.
Great. Is there anything else we should adjust?
In addition to that, we could add a short action list at the end of each report, so everyone knows the next steps.
That's a good idea. It would help avoid confusion.
I'll update the template and share it with the team.
Phrase number 7. Something else worth considering is. This phrase is used to suggest another useful or important idea. For example, something else worth considering is customer feedback. The topic of the next conversation between Nina and Leo is improving team communication, and Leo mentions this phrase in the conversation.
The new process should help reduce errors, especially in the reporting stage.
Yes, it's much clearer than the old system.
I think the team will adapt quickly.
Something else worth considering is giving the team a short training session, just to make sure everyone feels confident.
That makes sense. It would help avoid confusion at the start.
Great. I'll organize a short session for next week.
Phrase 8. I'd like to add to what you said. This phrase is used to connect your idea directly to another person's comment. An example of a sentence with this phrase is, I'd like to add to what you said, we may need more staff during peak times. Nina and Leo are now going to discuss team workload and staffing, and this phrase is mentioned during their conversation.
We've seen an increase in customer requests this month, especially at the end of the week.
Yes, the team is managing, but they're very busy during peak hours.
We might need to adjust our current process.
I'd like to add to what you said. If the volume continues to grow, we may need temporary support to avoid burnout.
That makes sense. It's better to plan ahead.
Agreed. I can look into short-term options and report back.
Phrase number 9. We could also look at is used to suggest another option or possibility. For example, we could also look at offering flexible working hours. Improving team efficiency is the topic being discussed now by Nina and Leo uses this phrase during the conversation.
The new workflow should help us save time, especially in the planning stage.
Yes, it already feels more organized than before.
Are there any other ideas we should discuss?
We could also look at automating some of the reporting tasks. That would reduce manual work for the team.
That's a good suggestion. It could free up time for more important tasks.
Exactly.
I can research a few tools and share options in our next meeting.
Finally, we have phrase number 10. Just to add a quick thought. This phrase is used to briefly share an extra idea without interrupting too much. An example sentence with this phrase is, just to add a quick thought, this might be easier to start next month. The final conversation you will hear is between Nina and Leo, and they're discussing improving meeting efficiency. And this phrase is used by Leo in this conversation.
The agenda looks full for next week's meeting, but I think we can manage the time better.
I agree. Some sections usually take longer than planned.
Yes, especially the updates at the beginning.
Just to add a quick thought, we could limit updates to 2 minutes per person to stay on schedule.
That's a practical idea. It should help keep the meeting focused.
Great. I'll suggest it to the team before the meeting.
Now, let's see what you have learned. You're now going to complete a quiz. In this quiz, you have to complete 10 exercises. Each exercise includes 4 sentences, and you have to choose the correct sentence. The correct sentence will include one of the phrases that we looked at earlier in this video. You will be given 5 seconds to complete each exercise, and then I will show you the answer for each exercise. We will begin with exercise 1, and you have to choose from A, B, C or D. The first sentence is, I'd like add something here about the meeting. B, I'd like to adding something here about the meeting. C, I'd like to add something here about the timeline. Or D, I'd like add here something about the timeline. You have 5 seconds to complete this task. The answer for exercise 1 is option C. I'd like to add something here about the timeline. Exercise 2. Which sentence is correct? Is it A, another point consider is the budget? B, another point to consider is the impact on customers? C, another point considering is the impact on customers? Or D, another point is consider the impact on customers? Your 5 seconds start now. The answer for exercise 2 is B. Another point to consider is the impact on customers. Exercise 3. Which sentence is correct? A. Building on that idea, we could expand the project. B. Building that idea on, we could expand the project. C. Building on that ideas, we could expanding the project. Or D. Build on that idea, we could expand the project. Your 5 seconds start now. Correct answer is A. Building on that idea, we could expand the project. Exercise 4. Which sentence is correct? A. I'd also like mention the deadline change. B. I'd also like to mentioning the deadline change. C. I'd also like to mention the deadline change. Or D. I'd also like mentioning to the deadline change. And your 5 seconds start now. The correct answer is C. I'd also like to mention the deadline change. Exercise 5. Which sentence is correct? Is it A. One more thing we could think about is improving communication? B. One more thing we could think is about improving communication? C. One more thing we could thinking about is improving communication? Or D. One more thing could think about is improving communication? Your 5 seconds start now. The correct answer is A. One more thing we could think about is improving communication. Exercise 6. Which sentence is correct? A. In addition that, we should review the plan. B. In addition to that, we should review the plan. C. In addition for that, we should review the plan. Or D. In addition with that, we should review the plan. Your 5 seconds start now. The correct answer is B. In addition to that, we should review the plan. Exercise 7. Which sentence is correct? A. Something else worth to consider is staff training. B. Something else is worth considering staff training. C. Something else worth considering is staff training. Or D. Something else worth consider is staff training. Your 5 seconds start now. The correct answer is C. Something else worth considering is staff training. Exercise 8. Which sentence is correct? A. I'd like add to what you said about the schedule. B. I'd like to add what you said about the schedule. C. I'd like to add to what you said about the schedule. Or D. I'd like to adding to what you said about the schedule. 5 seconds start now. Correct answer is C. I'd like to add to what you said about the schedule. Exercise 9. Which sentence is correct? A. We could also look at hiring more staff. B. We could also look hiring more staff. C. We could also looking at hiring more staff. Or D. We could also look to hiring more staff. Your 5 seconds start now. The correct answer is A. We could also look at hiring more staff. Exercise 10. Which sentence is correct? A. Just to add quick thought, this may take longer. B. Just add a quick thought, this may take longer. C. Just to add a quick thought, this may take longer. Or D. Just to adding a quick thought, this may take longer. Your 5 seconds start now. Correct answer for exercise 10 is C. Just to add a quick thought, this may take longer. That's the end of the quiz. How many did you get right? Please let us know in the comments below. Here's a quick summary of the 10 phrases we covered today. Number 1, I'd like to add something here. Number 2, another point to consider is. Number 3, building on that idea. Number 4, I'd also like to mention. Number 5, one more thing we could think about is. Number 6, in addition to that. Number 7, something else worth considering is. Number 8, I'd like to add to what you said. Number 9, we could also look at. And finally, number 10, just to add a quick thought. If you're a business professional who wants to speak English more confidently at work or when you travel, get our free 7-day mini course called 7 Ways to Instantly Boost Your Business English. You can find the link to this course in the description below. Finally, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was of value to you, and in our next video we will look at how to clarify in meetings.